What is up, everybody? Welcome to the best presentation you will ever have. The Cookie Diet. Just the name alone. You should love it just for that. So it is the topic of conversation this month. Every month, one thing we're trying to do is have a consistent kind of nutrition based topic or some level of a topic that we can go over with you guys and help you with. We're going to be bringing in like guest speakers and things like that to kind of assist with some of this stuff. And what I wanted to do is, we've talked now here. What's up, guys? What's up? We're kind of putting in a new like nutrition option and things like that that's going to really help you long term with your nutrition. So I'm going to touch on that today, but then I'm going to talk a little bit about like the concept of the cookie diet. So all right, cool. Making sure I'm good here. All right, looks like I'm good there. Hopefully you guys can hear me. All right. If you are on and you can give me a little thumbs up, let me know that you guys can hear me. Everything good, and then I want to respect your guys' time. I'm gonna kind of jump into it here in a moment. This will stay up. I know some of you guys asked me about that earlier. It will stay up. You'll get full access to this. Maria, all right, thank you for that. For those that are on, I'm going to ask you guys specific questions during it. So I'll even kind of do some actual real life things with you guys. So be kind of prepared for that if you want that level of help. I want to just make sure I can see everything properly. On my end, it looks like everything's good and set up. Hey, anybody that was on, did you get a note? Like, did you see it in the Facebook group, or did you actually see it in the event page for the cookie presentation or diet thing? Like, where did you see it? If you can comment below, I want to make sure that it's going to the right spot. Yep, all right, good. Okay. Okay, thank you, John. Okay. All right, cool. Sounds like everything's working good. The event, John, you said it's in both. So that's what I'm looking for, as long as it's easy for people to find and all that. So, cool, guys. So what I have for you today is a couple different things that I want to kind of go over with you and help you with. Awesome, guys. Perfect. The Hunger Games page. I like it. So what we're talking about. So you always hear all the time this crazy concept that you have to absolutely cut out all of your favorite foods in order to lose weight. And what I want to do today is kind of help you break that framework or that thought process and find other creative ways that you can still eat those foods you want, like the cookies, but still get results. Okay, that's what my objective is here for you guys today. If you're on, pop a message in the comments. What do you want to try to get out of today? Like, what's important for you, your nutrition? If you're struggling with anything specific or somewhere along this topic, let me know what it is that you're specifically struggling with and would like to get out of this. Or if you have any just baseline questions that maybe you want me to try to answer today. But one question that I started with this here is, or comment that I started with was, we want to bring more educational pieces back to you guys. Is there anything for those that are on here? Is there anything specific that you guys would want us to teach you more of, help you with, help you solve a certain problem? Go ahead and post it in the comments here below if you have anything specific as I'm getting started. So, all right. So I mentioned, we always hear that we have to cut out our favorite foods. And what my goal today, as I mentioned, is to kind of break that initial framework and show things that you can do things a little bit differently. So what exactly is the cookie diet? And really the cookie diet is more of a concept than a specific diet. And what it means is there's kind of three things that you need to do or can do in order to allow you to eat really any of your favorite foods on a consistent basis. So I, like, over the last 3 weeks, for instance, I finished like our version of our challenge, and I started incorporating some of the things. My sweet tooth, I've been like kicking back in a little bit, and I've been doing some of these things that I'm actually still losing weight, and I've had dessert pretty much every night of the week, almost. So it's 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 not rocket science, and that's where we want to break it. So the first kind of thing is having the right types and more so the ratios of certain foods, and following along with that is really gonna to go a long way. So I did mention, I just put a post before I went live in the Facebook group. Feel free to open that up. I opened up a PDF, do it, download it for yourself, because I'm gonna reference that really here, and I couldn't really find a easy way to share. Let's see if this will flip over and still work. Okay. So this is part of like our new base meal plan. And what this does is, it shows you like these are the most optimal foods when it comes to weight loss. Now, don't worry about the portion sizes, anything here. This is just a templated version. Reach out to your coach, ask your coach for your specific copy based on what's going to, the starting point for you and your individual body weight and everything there. They'll give you your specific one. But if I can eat most of my foods from this list, okay, say 80 to 90% of the time, really everything else you do is probably not going to have that big of a negative impact on you. So my first kind of tip for you is getting the right types of foods. So choosing from this list, okay? And then kind of basing your guide or your daily, eating patterns around this. So for breakfast, do a protein, a carb, and a veggie. Same thing for lunch. For dinner, you would just swap out the carb for a fat from that list, okay? And then if you're going to have two protein-based snacks during your day, like if you do that a majority of the time, it's going to allow you to have a lot of flexibility and eat some of those other foods that you love, okay? Here's my quick tip on how some of the stuff that you can do and implement differently. So anytime, if you're following along with this guide majority of the time, and then you're in it and you're doing it, and then you're like, you know what, I want to have some wine tonight, or I want to, know I'm going to this party, so I'm gonna have a piece of cake or whatever it is. What you can do is any sweet or treat or alcoholic beverage that you do, you would just cut out a a fat or a carb. Okay, so if you have a glass of wine, maybe you just wouldn't have the fat for dinner. Okay, or you're gonna have a cookie later. Maybe you cut out one of your carbs for lunch, right? You just do a protein and veggie. So this kind of gives you three different things that you could incorporate into your day. That's like a cheat meal or part of a meal, just by cutting out one carb, or one fat for this specific, meal plan. Now, I'm not sitting here saying this is the healthiest option if you're eating cookies every day, but it gives you an opportunity to still get really good results and still cheat and eat the foods you love and everything there. So, yeah, Laura, to that point there, you don't have to do it beforehand if you can't, right? If you're doing a 6 a.m. workout or whatever it is, like, just do the best you can, right? This is a recommendation more so than like a cold hard facts of what it has to be. So hopefully that kind of answers that. But so if you go through and you choose from this list 80% of the times and you get really good and you start doing the actual portion sizes, okay, this is going to go a long way for your overall ability to lose weight and incorporate the foods you love. Ideally, while you're following that list, you're using these meal templates as your guide. And then anytime you want to cheat, you would just cut out a carb or a fat for every like serving that you have. So if you have like 3 cupcakes, you would just cut out, a carb, and a fat, and that would kind of somewhat balance what you're doing there. So that is the first level of it. The second level is to find cheat meals that are still somewhat in line with your goals. So I'm gonna send these to you guys today as well, but we have different recipe guides. We have like a chocolate protein recipe guide, we have a vanilla, we have a cookies and cream, but making chocolate based brownies or making no bake cookies or protein muffins, this is going to give you a lot of the nutrients that you need. It's not going to be nearly as detrimental, and you still feel like you're getting that cheat. So that is kind of my second part of the like getting the right types of foods and the right ratios. The second part of that one is and if you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to comment here. But the second part is not only is it best to choose from that food list is best that you're the majority of the time, say 80% of the time, and the other 20, maybe you splurge a little bit and, kind of do your own thing. But if you're doing that and then you get really good and you start actually incorporating similar to what we did back in the summer, we did a program called Stupid Easy where you have a calorie goal that you try to hit and a protein goal. You back your protein into your calories, and then all the other calories are free game. So I'm going to do this kind of right here with you live. So if I'm here, okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of math with you here. Okay. So what I'm going to suggest is this is like taking that food guide to the next level. So if you get to the point where you want to start tracking your food, and one thing we've implemented, we just created a 24-week nutrition program, and it's all about accountability and teaching you how to become super self-sufficient in your nutrition. So in like week 6-ish, we start to teach you how to track food and things like that. And one of the things that we do is we set a goal based on your calories. So your calories, if you're trying to lose weight, what we do is we encourage you to shoot for about what your BMR is. And if you're not sure what that is, it's your basal metabolic rate that you can find on your in-body scan in the top right corner. So if yours is, say, 1,500 calories, okay, that's going to be your caloric goal. So if I type into my little calculator here, 1,500 calories, that's my goal to get. What I want you to shoot for, and I'm going to do a little bit of math with you, is you're going to do 0.8 times your body weight. So if I'm 175 pounds, okay, I'm going to do 175 times 0.8 is 140 grams. So that's about how many grams you would get if you're a 175-pound person that you would try to shoot for on a daily basis. Okay, so now, again, we'll pretend like this person has a $1,500 metabolic rate. Okay, following me. If you're not following me, post a comment below. But so this person's 175 pounds. We want them to get 140 grams of protein is what we want them to shoot for. Okay, and they're allotted 1,500 calories. So how do we turn this 140 into calories? Simply 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 140 times 4, and that equals 560 calories. So if you remember, my allotted calories for the day is 1,500, okay? I'm going to minus 560 calories that are going to come from protein. That means I have 940 calories, probably slightly less because not all protein is going to be 100% strictly protein. You'll probably have some fats in there or anything there, but after you get at least the 560 calories from protein, whatever else is taken out from this 940, whatever else is left, that is how much you can literally put into whatever it is that you want. Okay, so if I go here and I say, how much is a Reese's peanut butter? Okay, 87 calories. I could have about 10 Reese's peanut butter cups as long as I hit my protein goal. We'll do chocolate chip cookies calories. I know they're always different. All right, 78 calories per one cookie. I could have 11 or 12 cookies as long as I hit my protein goal for the day, right? So this gives you kind of a way to still get really good results, stay within your calorie range, get enough protein to maintain your lean muscle, and still smash 12 cookies in your day. It'll be a little less than that because, again, you'll use up some of those calories and fats and things like that when you eat the protein. But this just gives you kind of an idea of what it is that you can kind of do when you're going through this process. So if anybody knows what their BMR is, or you have access to your app, go ahead and type it below, and I will kind of do some of the math with you here. So if you're at that level that you want to start tracking your food and you feel comfortable enough that you can add that in, we can figure out what should your caloric intake be and what should your protein goal, and you can literally eat anything else that you want during your day and still get results. Which, how fun does that sound, right? So that is my suggestion to you. That first phase is get the right ratios of foods at least 80% of the time. And that's that food list I showed you. Try to match up your meals with the meal templates that I had. 2 snacks that are protein based. Have your breakfast and lunch coming from protein, carb, and veggie. Have your dinner be a protein, fat, and veggie. And then any cheat meal that you have or cheat thing that you have or alcoholic beverage that you have, you would just cut out a fat or a carb during your day. Okay, then if you're ready to take it to the next level, the second phase is take your basal metabolic rate, which is your BMR and your in-body scan, make that your calorie goal. Okay, back into your calories with your protein. So you're going to do your body weight times 0.8. That's how many grams of protein you're going to try to get a day. Okay, you're going to take that number, times it by 4, because every gram that you have, or every gram of protein is 4 calories. So if your BMR is 1,500 calories to eat every day, and you're 175 pounds, that's 140 grams of protein, which is about 560 calories. So you take that 560 out to 1,500, you have around 900 calories to use on whatever you want to eat. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you need more clarification, anything there. Let me know if you want me to help you to do the math. Comment below here and I'll help you with that. From there, the next thing is the second part of how to kind of eat whatever you want and still get the results that you want is tying in supplements. So we've been talking a lot about kind of the new supplement products that we're bringing on and everything there. The reason I say this is because when you focus on easy, basic nutrition habits instead of super high level advanced ones that are very complicated and time consuming, that stress you out, you're less likely to stick to it, right? So Laura, it's probably a setting. We probably got to adjust the setting on yours. It's probably yours is showing a different metric for that. See if you can see what the little thing is next to it, and then go online and type in like unit, transfer 6,577 units metrics, whatever that metric is, to metabolic rate. There's something like that you can do. I don't remember how to change the setting though for you. But but when you, instead of an advanced nutrition protocol, if you just incorporate supplements that do some of the work for you and all you have to do is remember to take them, that speeds up the process. It allows you to get to the goals faster, and it makes it way easier, and it can combat when you have some of those like treats or cheats or whatever it is that will allow you to still do that and have the supplementation to kind of negate some of the negative side effects. So a couple of the new ones that we have, like the Burn AM, that gets you into thermogenesis. It starts speeding up your metabolism quicker, more efficiently during workouts. You're going to burn more calories, which means you can eat more, right? So that helps. The Burn PM is specific for sweet cravings and carb cravings. It's also there for an appetite suppressant. So if like you want to cheat, but you cheat too much, like you could use that to help you have more control. The sleep one helps you get into deeper sleep, so you're less tired in the morning and during your day, so you're going to less likely to crave sugars. If you're craving a lot of stuff, do a cleanse to help flush some of that stuff out. The Test Storm will help you build more muscle, lose more body fat, and that will allow you to burn more calories throughout your day so you can eat more, right? You can have more of these cheats. Your BMR is going to go up. So instead of 1,500, eventually it's 1,600, right? So now you're just allowed another cookie you can eat during the day, right? Supplementing with protein will help keep you satiated so you're not as likely to cheat or want to cheat or need to cheat. It's going to allow you to build more muscle, which is going to increase your metabolism and your metabolic rate so you can eat more, right? And it gives you more flexibility. If you have a bunch of protein shakes in your day and you get up to those grams or calories of protein that I just suggested a few minutes ago, then it's going to then allow you to make it that much easier to have some more of your cheats because you already hit that protein goal, right? So a lot of people struggle to hit the protein goal, so that will help with that. The Intra helps make it so you're less sore, so you can work out harder, which when you work out harder, you burn more calories and then you can eat more, right? So like supplementation just makes the job easier. So I highly encourage you to start utilizing supplements to your advantage. And if you want to have more cheats and still get results, supplements will help do that. The third part of this is having the accountability behind a simple plan. So all the stuff that I told you, just taking supplements, just following a food list 80% of the time, just if you get to the level where you want to start tracking protein and calories and eat whatever you want from there, that's simple. That's relatively simple, and you're able to still get results. And if you get accountability behind that, that is where the magic happens. So that is why like our 6-week challenge is very effective, because you have that coach that you have to check in on with, that you know is going to check in with you. That forces you to be more diligent, be on top of it. Even if you haven't cheated, it forces you to kind of get back into it. Whereas without the accountability, you can have that snowball effect of one cheat turns into 2 cheats, turns into, I've been off all week or all month or whatever it is, right? So getting accountability is critical. And if you're the type of person that has been going through you're stuck in a plateau, you're consistently keep running into the same reoccurring issues, and you just need more guidance, more accountability, I highly suggest you do the upcoming 6-week challenge. Or if you want real long-term life-sustaining kind of coaching, then I really suggest you contact your coach and talk about our one-on-one nutrition coaching, because that can take you literally from starting point knowing nothing about nutrition all the way to being so self-sufficient you don't need a coach anymore. You just know what to do, you know how to do it, and you're working with a coach that whole time. So it becomes very much you just stick to it, and you don't have to do the roller coaster up and down anymore. And you know what to do, how to do it, how much to do, and you never have to worry about the stress of like up and down. So if you need that level of coaching, now you don't have to do all 24 weeks. It's encouraged, but you don't have to do all for 24 weeks. Talk to your coach, get into one of these programs, because accountability is that missing factor to really make nutrition stick. And if we can do so in an easy format like I gave you today, that is going to be a world of difference, not only for you short term, but also long term. So That is kind of my spiel. As I mentioned, when we're done, I'll share some of those baking guides in the Facebook group for you so that you can kind of download and use some of those recipes and everything there. If you have any questions on that, comment now, tag me in something. Let me know if there's anything I can kind of help clarify for you, any other questions. If you jumped on late, go back and watch the beginning. John, I'm going to go back to yours because I know you mentioned one earlier. Trying to build muscle and burn body fat. One of the best way to balance calories to do that. Increased my strength training recently and actually lost a half a pound of muscle over 3 weeks. So here is the key to that, John. It's almost, at least long term, it's almost impossible to do both at the same time. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to figure out what's going to be the most important for you right now. And the way that we encourage people to do it, because most people need to lose a little bit of body fat, is we encourage you to get down to the body fat that either you're comfortable with or the InBody scan recommends you to be at. Get down to that level, see where you're at, see where your comfort level is, and then focus on building strength and muscle after. Because here's really the underlying tricky part of this is most 90% of the time or more, and really like if you're doing it long term, 100% of the time, you are going to lose muscle mass when you are trying to lose body fat because you have to go into a calorie deficit in order to lose body fat, and your muscles need a calorie surplus or a ton of amino acids in order to maintain itself and a certain amount of calories to maintain itself in order to add to it. So you will get the occasional where you'll do both at the same time, but that's kind of short lived. So to kind of answer your question, focus on losing body fat first, get down to where your InBody scan says you should be at. And then from there, then you can start working on increasing muscle. But during the process of getting your body fat down, a couple things you need to do. You need to hit 0.8 grams of your body weight in protein. If you're not doing that, you need to do it now. So John, if you're 200 pounds, 0.8, that's 160 grams of protein. I don't remember exactly how much you weigh right now. I know you've lost a lot. Good job, buddy. But so that's just an example. So aim for about 160 grams of protein. Weight is 225. So 225 times 0.8, that's going to be somewhere around 170, 180. So let's just say 175 grams of protein is your goal. If you're not getting 175 grams of protein, you're very susceptible to lose muscle mass while you're in a fat loss phase. So generally, calories and getting in 180 to 200 grams of protein, working out 5 times a week, 2 weight training days, and getting 10K steps most days. This is good, at least not to lose muscle. You're working out a ton there, John, and doing that. So I would say your BMR is 2,100. How many calories are you getting? Are you hitting 2,100? You could probably get to, here's my suggestion. Tell me how many calories you're getting now if you're tracking. I'm assuming you are if you know how much grams of protein you're getting. So your grams of protein are good. So that's going to help maintain as much muscle as possible. You're still very susceptible to do it. But if you say you're only getting 100 grams of protein, you'd be losing muscle even faster. So get all that protein in. Okay. I'm curious to see where your calories are at. So let me know if you're getting 2,100. Let me know. But a couple other things that you want to do is you want to make sure you're doing strength training for sure. You want to have adequate recovery. Okay, you're working out 5 days a week and 2,300. Yeah, so you're in a very heavy fat loss caloric point right now, John, with that amount of calories. So if you're still trying to drop a little bit more fat, I would keep doing what you're doing and just know that losing a little bit of muscle is kind of inevitable, right? And then once we get you down to where you need to go, this is what we teach in the nutrition program, is we teach you how to reverse back to recovery, which for you will probably be around, I'm going to guess 3,000 to 3,200 calories once we get you down to the level that you want. And at that point, you'll be able to start focusing on building more muscle back up, but you want to do so in a certain way. And then looking, John, at taking supplementation to help maintain as much muscle as possible. Because anytime you try to lose body fat, you are always going to be susceptible to lose muscle. It's inevitable. So what I suggest is look into the protein, okay? Look into the intra, because the intra will help maintain muscle. And look into the test storm. The test storm is great for producing the right type of hormones to lose body fat and maintain as much muscle as possible. But again, I'll say it a million times over. You're very susceptible to lose muscle when you're trying to gain body fat or lose body fat. So our objective and goal by hitting a certain amount of calories, by hitting a certain amount of protein, by taking some of these supplements is to maintain as much muscle mass as possible during that process. Just received the supplement stack today. Perfect, John. That's going to help you a lot. And if you didn't do the test storm, I'd encourage you to possibly consider that one as well. But you start doing that, you keep doing what you're doing, everything else to drop a little bit more body fat. And then what we'll need to do from there is we'll need to start incorporating back to what we call the recovery phase of where your calories should be at to more, maintain what you've done and start building the muscle up, which again, I'd have to do some math, but for you, it's probably going to eventually be like 3,000 to 3,200 calories, but you slowly work your way back up to that in a certain way. But you're moving and working out a lot, so it's going to be pretty likely that your potential to lose some muscle. So do those things that I mentioned to maintain for all of you, not even just John. That is the most critical thing in a weight loss program. And that's what most weight loss programs suffer from or do incorrectly is they focus on losing a bunch of weight when a lot of the times what happens is they lose a bunch of muscle. And that's why people gain it back. That's why it's harder to lose the next time is because they don't do it in the right way. And doing strength training and enough protein. You do those two things and takes the right type of supplementation, you'll maintain a good amount of your muscle. The test storm is a little bit different than DHEA, but DHEA is good too. DHEA will definitely help you with hormones. But the test storm is like kind of DHEA on steroids, if you will. Like it's more potent, and there's more to it. So it's not just DHEA. But yeah, good question. All right, I'll stay on for another minute or so here, guys. If anybody has any other nutrition questions or you had questions about what I brought to you today, or you're watching this at a later date, comment and make sure you tag me so I see it, and I will happily answer. But I appreciate all of you guys. Like I asked at the beginning of this too, if there's any other nutrition content or things that you want to learn from us, let me know. And we're gonna start cranking out a lot of content for our members specific only. So you guys gonna get the benefit of like member, more in depth, more hands on, showing you how to do it, kind of concepts. So we look forward to kind of doing that and sharing with you. So let us know what you want to learn about and what we can teach you, and we'll go into it there. You're very welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me. I will sign off here. Don't forget. We got our 6-week challenge coming up. So if you want to implement some of this stuff hands-on with a coach, make sure you sign up in-house or tell your coach and get your supplement stack because that will make your job easier. All right, guys, have a good night. I will see you next time.